Well, I really would like the administration to review the policy for sick leave payment for retirees, and if all possible, reinstate it this year. Although I don't agree with everything Ms. Olson said, I think that is something that we need to do for the teachers and staff who have given a number of years to the district. So we need to review that.
And it is being
The next speaker, Citizen Elected Vest Board of Trustees. They propose it.
I am here tonight to inform you that board policy is knowingly being misrepresented and is having disastrous results to students. This is my daughter. She's not here tonight because she had an anxiety attack from her assault. On February 14th of this year, Jennifer suffered an unprovoked assault from a classmate in the hall outside of OHS cafeteria. She was sitting back and out of the way, cross-legged on the floor by the vending water machine. She had no chance to run or flee as she was being assaulted by a student larger than her. Jennifer is a special ed student. She has Down syndrome. She suffered a head injury, neck injury, post-traumatic concussion syndrome, plus plugs of hair the size of quarters pulled out of her head. And now we're dealing with PSTD. The symptoms of post-concussion syndrome are nausea, dizziness, blurred vision, headaches. She has suffered them all. Some of the symptoms of PSD she has gone through and is still going through: afraid of being in a crowd, nightmares, afraid of even going by a school. She would duck underneath our car when we went by a school. Other symptoms include jumping at sounds, having fits of anger, and in those angers she's saying, "Mom, I did nothing, nothing." She's right. She didn't do anything to provoke the attack. Consistent crying, panic attacks, and refusing to go to sleep until she's falling over, stumbling in exhaustion because she doesn't want the nightmare. The nurse called me to tell me Jennifer was in her office. This is the first view I saw of my daughter. She had the imprint of a shoe on her forehead, and it stayed there for a week afterwards. Several events occurred which contributed to her assault. Another student's personal aide was not there, so she was left alone to take care of that student. Jennifer's individual education plan, IEP, was not followed. She was left alone. Furthermore, she was left alone with a student who had a history of assaulting staff, teachers, and students. She was bigger than Jennifer. All these listed above are also a violation of federal and state law. Policy was misrepresented, and Jennifer was denied counseling afterwards. Policy FFE of counseling states what situations counseling are given, guidelines on permission needed for counseling, and how to do alternative options. The real tragedy of this event is that last year she was at Permian High School. She was being harassed with sexual overtones. At that time, I was told I was going to be required to give a 24-hour notice to visit the classroom and check on my daughter. I have found nowhere in any board policy where 24-hour notice is required. But that's what was stated in the R minutes as board policy. If such a policy does exist, I have to ask, why? Is that not a violation as my guardianship to my daughter and as a parent? And I'm sure these people back here would question it too. I'm asking for the board to investigate why such violations of board policy being misrepresented and administrators are being allowed to do this. To direct the administration to make sure that no further violations are permitted that will harm students after or before the fact. My daughter and every student in this district deserve better treatment and more understanding from the very people who we entrust with providing a safe and secure learning environment.